again, that comes down to the skill of listening. Again, being prepared, but also being a good listener, and it's a fundamental, man. It's to me, it's the most important thing you can be working on as a musician.
Yeah, you got to have an ear for it, and you guys definitely have an ear for it, both of you guys. Now, you guys, let's get back to this tour. You got the South American tour that is starting in just a couple weeks. You guys got a couple dates down there, and then you're coming back up north. It's more of an East Coast based tour with the fall tour. You and the guys. You start here in Buffalo, then you end it in 2 nights Charlottesville. Is that sort of like a victory lap for you guys at this point, where you've been all over the world pretty much this year, and you're doing sort of a victory lap, sort of around the hometowns almost? Does that have that feel?
I think so. I mean, it's not my hometown.
Yeah.
But, obviously for the band,
mm-hmm.
For those guys, having come out of there, I think it's a nod to the fans, just saying, hey, we're coming back home for the last couple of dates here for the year.
Yeah, it definitely has that feel. I know as soon as it was announced, I had the hotel room booked, and it's going to be a great 2 nights there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys.
No doubt.
So you got the mutet thing going. Let's talk a little bit about the mutet. What is mutet for the people that don't know? Well,
it comes from the word mutation,
mm-hmm.
and it's kind of in line with my philosophy that everything has to change. It's supposed to, and that music is continually morphing and mutating, and if it gets stagnant, it sort of dies.
Mm-hmm. So the band is made up of who?
The band is Jeff Sipe on drums,
mm-hmm.
Also known as Apartment Q258 from Aquarium Rescue Unit, and play with Trey Anastasio and Leftover Salmon, and a bunch of great Indian musicians. My friend Bill Fanning on trumpet out of the Boston area, Kofi Burbridge, who's a great keyboardist and flute player, plays with Derek Trucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sort of, you built a sort of a mega band around you. You really can't go wrong with that band. So you guys are getting into the studio at the beginning of, right before you set the fall tour, right?
End of October. And I've also got Felix Pastorius on the bass.
Yeah,
who is one of the sons of Jaco Pastorius.
Yeah, so you really can't go wrong. When do you think you're going to have an album ready with that?
I'm hoping to release probably in March.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. And so I've been working on a bunch of tunes. Felix was down a few days ago to do some writing and to hang for a couple of days. So we got a bunch of stuff done while he was here. And I think we're pretty much ready to go in. We'll be in the studio for, I think, 5 days. And it'll be nice to be able to sort of be sequestered, and we'll be able to, kind of work on some things and work out some arrangements of the things we've already got, and have some time to experiment, which is always a fun process to me.
Yeah, it always seems like some of the more interesting and cooler bits of music sort of come from when you're just messing around with the guys, and just seeing what sort of comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of what you guys do with the band, with Dave live. You guys, sort of mess around, and sometimes, magical things just sort of happen. That's sort of how you guys evolved into these mega jams that you now have with 41 and Crush. You guys just mess around and magic happens.
Well, it's interesting, man, because when you talk about the word improvisation, and I look at the Dave Matthews Band as an improvisational band,
mm-hmm.
more so than I would say a jam band. And the word improvisation, I looked it up a number of years ago, and the root of the word is the Latin word, which is improvisio. And when you translate it, the translation means unexpected or surprise. And so when I go and I do these clinics, I like to tell students that the word improvisation has nothing to do with music.
Yeah, and
it has everything to do with the spirit of the word, the element of surprise or the unexpected. So when you're listening, when you're prepared, when you have the fundamentals together, and when there's a cohesion going on, when there's a good energy going on between people in a group, then those opportunities for those magical moments that you're talking about, those present themselves.
Yeah, I think surprise is a very good way to put it. I mean, I've seen you guys many times, and every time I see you, I find myself just shaking my head at times. You know, just surprised with what you guys do with a song that you played the night before, and you'll probably play a couple nights after, and it's going to be different every time, and it's different in an even better way every time. And I just end up shaking my head with.
Well, and it's interesting. I think the band feels the same way. You know, everybody's very supportive of one another, and everything that I've seen and experienced in the band since I started playing with them has been very joyful and again, very supportive.
Yeah, it really.
And every night, people are like, you know, just, wow, I hadn't heard you play that before. I hadn't heard you play that before. And I can tell everybody's really listening. Everybody's really tuned in.
Yeah, and it's not just, you know, the really hardcore fans. It's all the fans. They notice the little things that you guys do, the things that, hey, you know what, they did that, and I've never seen them do that before, and that's really cool.
And that is a testament to the fans also, and their ability to have become better listeners too, because they've grown up listening to the group and expanding their own method of listening, and so they've become better listeners. As the band has gotten better, they've become better listeners also.
Yeah, and I mean, I really agree with the point that you made that it's more of an improv band than a jam band, because I mean, you guys do something different every night, and it really makes the fans. Mm-hmm. It makes it new for the fans, and that's why fans like myself keep coming multiple times a year. So just to wrap up, you guys got the South American tour coming up. You have the North American fall tour. You can catch Jeff, jeffcoffin.com. There's davematthewsband.com, and then is it Bela Fleck and the Flecktones.com?
Flecktones.com.
Flecktones.com. So you can.
Yep. And also, I do a lot of photography too. Go to jeffcoffinphotography.com.
All right, guys, check out Jeff Coffin's photography too. That's something I hadn't even known about. Is that something?
Cool stuff up there I think you'd enjoy.
What's that?
I said there's some cool stuff up there I think you'd enjoy.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I'll definitely check that out later today. All right, thank you very much, Jeff. And before I let you go, I just want to say, on behalf of the whole DMB community, from the bottom of our hearts, we just want to thank you for everything you've done. We adore you, we praise you, and you know what you've done has just been amazing, and it doesn't go unappreciated.
Well, thank you. It doesn't go unappreciated here either, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Thank you for joining us. Everybody, Jeff Coffin, and we'll be right back.